First housekeeping program is going to be if you need bathrooms are out the door, upstairs and downstairs and that sort of thing. So anyway, need that. Apologize for my health issue right now, but we're going to get through this, and my voice is kind of on the bad side too. So anyway, I'm Dan Caldwell, and I'm a member of the Citizens for the Preservation of Fish and Dams, as you all are aware. My background is I worked for 8 seasons with the Lower Snake River Dams, doing research and fish migration, and all the studies that went along with that for the USGS program. And when that program ran out of money and failed, then we moved on, and I spent 5 seasons with barge operations as transporting juvenile salmon and steelhead back to the estuary down below Bonneville for the Corps of Engineers. So that's my lead into this program. Now, we are a grassroots group made up of extremely educated, experienced, and highly dedicated individuals. So in this program, we've got boat builders, outfitters, river guides, retired fish biologists from the Corps, retired fish and game hatchery managers, retired port commissioners, IT personnel as corporation managers, biological technicians, historians, and other concerned local folks, and a hog and a hay farmer, and some local farmers, attorney, and county commissioners. Those are some of the basics that we have that are backing up what we do. I get to the mission statement. Our mission is to provide education and information regarding the preservation of fish and dams, including but not limited just to the Snake River. Okay. Not sure what happened here. I thought I had a list of members here somewhere. I did, okay. But I want to talk a little bit just briefly about some folks behind the scenes that you probably don't even know about. But Marvin Duggar was the original president of this program, and he's responsible for a lot of good letters to the paper and so forth. Marv Entel is a historian that's been with us, and he keeps things going very well. Dick Sherwin was responsible for a lot of tremendous things, working, getting this facility, and just keeps things going. Chris Moore is doing a lot of our attorney stuff. Marilyn Scharnhorst is our videographer. She's doing a lot of great things here. Charlie Pottinger's been on our board for a long time, and he's a retired member of the Potlatch Corporation. Has been really good about close to fish. Dave Roper and Rusty Bentz were involved in this earlier. Dave's a hog farmer, and Rusty, of course, is a boat builder and outfitter. And they're no longer active with us because of health reasons. And Darla Graham. Darla has been our devoted organizer, our communicator, been our mother at times, keeping us online where we need to go and what we do. And so plenty of other advisors help with our mission as well. Very dedicated bunch of folks, been going on for several years. So as I talked into our mission statement was, and this is where our mission is to get factual fish fact information out to the people. So these are some of the positive things that the dams are known for. You all know about them kind of, but commodity transportation, grain ships. The wind turbines that they took to Canada couldn't even have brought up here had it been for the dams because they had to put them on barges. Irrigation is huge down in the Tri-Cities area. The 100 Circle Farms is over at Patterson. They have grapes, alfalfa, corn, apples, it just goes on and on. Of course, we do fish barging because of these dams as well. Flood control for Portland and all that area. Recreation, the boat builders, most of their industry is related around some slack water as well as river water. And I just recently realized that the tourism is a huge industry. Whether you're going to be a boat flotilla for the Christmas parade or any of that sort of thing, that's all pretty proud. And then, of course, the hydropower is a huge issue. Everybody's aware of that. We have this ongoing consistent power program. And just recently, another benefit of these things in here is having this water is aircraft fire suppression. These places can load and keeping it, it's pretty cool. All right, so these are the 4 dams that we're talking about. on the right side up here is the Lower Granite Dam. That's the first one, and then over a Little Goose Dam. I do have a pointer here. Little Goose Dam and Lower Monumental Dam. These are the three dams that have fish collection facilities on them. These are the four dams, all of them have fish returning ladders on them. These are the ones that make it all happen. So we can load it at Lower Granite, we can pick up somewhere at Little Goose, take them down to Lower Dam. So now, this is the transport program and how it works. We load at Lower Granite. Barges are set off at Little Goose and they're loaded there. And then we don't go to Ice Harbor because they can't, it's too narrow there, they can't, and don't have a fish facility, but they go to Lower Monumental, and then we barge all those down. Now, we used to go to McNary, but crossing over the spillway at McNary is very difficult with barges. So they transport by truck all the way down now. So this is a system that gets these fish all the way down without all the problems that kind of go with them. We're going to talk a little bit more about the deep barging and application presented later this morning, so you get an idea about what barging really means. All right, today you're going to hear about fish and their relationship to dams. Specifically, there's 4 dams. A great deal of experience and offered solutions to helping fish, increasing fish return numbers, and keeping the dams in place. We'll be presenting a more complete picture of what has happened to fish over time and what can be done to save the fish while keeping the dams doing what they do best. There's going to be a historical presentation as well, it's going to be interesting there. And another second housekeeping thing, in the essence of time and continuity, the presentations are going to be pretty short today. They're going to be to the point and very brief. Going to be a question-answer period after each presentation. And the questions really need only pertain to what that presentation was about. And we really like to have you come to the microphone over here to do your question. Speaking out from the audience is difficult for everybody to hear. This is being videotaped, and we like to have everybody hear and understand what the question is, and then we can answer it for you. Now, if you don't get to your questions now, we can do them all at the end of the day and catch up with that. So brochures of both fish and dams will be available later. And this is what we are. We're a 501c3 nonprofit, and thank you for allowing us to present this today and the reason to believe that fish and dams can coexist. So up now is going to be Fred Bensick. Fred's coming down now. Fred's our president this year and doing a remarkable job keeping this whole thing online for us. And so, anyway, we're happy to have him here. He's going to do some stuff that's pretty powerful, and we've got a really good layout from folks here that are extremely knowledgeable. So, enjoy the day. And funny thing happened on the way down here this morning. It's starting to rain a little bit.